Part 3.
We're watching of Iyobinte Pusthakam.
Just call it strategy.
If you saw us on YouTube, you saw a very good version because they have bad reasons and makes evil and covers of this and other Malayali films. Again, a picture of an origin membership. You could check that out.
What he said.
Okay. Let's finish this movie, huh?
What he said. Nice shot. Polka dot theory. Which is a high compliment. Oh, he shot him right in the poo-poo.
Alia on Alia crime.
Oh dear.
Ooh, we got a never-ending story situation going on.
Stupid horse! You gotta move or you'll die!
Bit me right in the buttocks.
Ivan's gonna shoot him.
Oh no!
Nice. That hole is wet. We're gonna get a climax in a wet hole.
Brother, what's that?
Stealthy Fafa.
Say nothing. No speech. Shoot him in the throat. Right in the throat!
Oh, look at that.
Did he hit him in the throat?
I was wondering what happened to the horny witch.
Well, she's gonna kill herself.
റാഹേൽ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചു.
Lovely.
1957 ലോകത്തിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ ജനാധിപത്യ കമ്മ്യൂണിസ്റ്റ് സർക്കാർ കേരളത്തിൽ അധികാരത്തിൽ വന്നു. പി.ടി. പുന്നൂസ് ലോകസഭയിലേക്കും. ജീവിതവും രാഷ്ട്രീയവും രണ്ടല്ലാത്തവരുടെ വിജയമായിരുന്നു അത്. അലോഷ്യയെയും മാർത്തയെയും പിന്നീട് ഒരിക്കലും ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. സഹിഷ്ണുതയുള്ള മനുഷ്യർ ഒരു നാൾ ഈ നാടിനെ മാറ്റിമറിക്കും. അന്ന് ജീവിതം കുറെ കൂടി യൗവന തീഷ്ണവും സ്നേഹസുരഭിലവുമായിരിക്കും.
Polka dot theory was
yeah, spot on, man.
Where does that come from?
It's in India. It's a popular thing trending in India right now. In Hindustan Times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. About this trend for things happening on social media. There were a couple of celebrities that announced babies or were about to announce babies and were just seen in polka dots. And so this trend went with polka dots reveal you either are pregnant or about to become pregnant. No.
Nice. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I thought it was really nice. There was a lot of really nice elements to it. The one that I think could have changed, it looks like it could have been a little crisper.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's even though the time is not like a crazy long film.
There it is. It's a silver with a blue diamond for me.
It's not like crazy long or anything like that. It wasn't like dragging. But I feel like it could have been crisper. Like
thanks to the cinematography.
Yeah, seeing like it's this director's other films in even more recent Bougainvillea, but the Godfather one. He's really honed his craft. I feel like you could see a lot of the raw talent. In this of like I think he's a fantastic director.
I do too.
He has a great vision. He has a great eye.
Yeah.
If he's a cinematographer first.
Yep. Did he also do the cinematography on this, or was he just doing the directing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think at least he used to always do his cinematography. Doesn't look like after this one because before he was always directing and DOPing. Almost always. But after this one, at least he's
That's
not
interesting. That's got to be.
credited.
That's not an easy thing to do.
I mean, maybe he found somebody that he trusted.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it a while. He's okay.
But to
now-
wear that hat, to have the DOP hat and the director hat at the same time, that's a lot, man. That's a lot to be thinking about.
Honestly, I think most directors would want that, just because, like we've said before, it's a very contentious, especially if like you haven't worked, even if you have worked together, it's difference of like opinion of what you think is where you're the two basically most important people on a film.
Yeah,
set.
that relationship is pretty dang critical.
You are both deciding.
Yeah.
Director obviously has final say, but the DOP has a lot of say. It is his camera, he's shooting. So like they're like in terms of decision making of what gets in the camera, there's
Yeah, but the thing for me that's so wild about that, there's so much to be hyper focused on as a DOP. And the number of distractions you would have
yeah.
by also directing that have nothing to do with the cinematography. And there's already so much you have to be sensitive to and aware of. I mean, being a cinematographer in and of itself is enough. So that's wild to be both DOP and director. I bet you don't see that a lot.
No.
You'll see editing sometimes, overseeing of editing, like Sean Baker does that, but he doesn't do his own cinematography.
Yeah. So I bet he still like oversees it all, but I bet he found somebody he trusts.
Yeah, I've
a
got
lot.
to.
Because it's
critical.
The cinematographer we saw, I think the first thing we ever saw of his was the Mahmoodi Godfather one.
Yeah.
His cinematography is
Yeah, like you've got to. He's got to have somebody. I think it's for all of his films, but I think it's especially true of this film for sure. You know, if you've got a DOP.
Yeah. So he's found a DOP now.
Yeah, if you've got a DOP who likes static shots, they're not going to have fun working for him.
So it looks like Anand, this guy, is now his DOP.
His DOP.
Like,
yeah.
Because that happens. If you are a big time director, you most likely have a whole team of people, but especially a DOP.
Yeah.
That you're like, if they're available,
I want them.
they're working with me.
Yep.
That's just, I mean, I'm sure the DOP would want it that way too, because it's a symbiotic relationship.
And they'll sometimes wait, just like they will for their actors. If an actor isn't ready for a project that they want, they'll do the same thing. There's directors who will wait for a lot of people so that they have the team together they want to have. It does it on TV too. You'll see that a lot on television too. You'll see, like Scott talks a lot about how the folks working on Ted with him, majority of them are all the same folks from The Orville. Because they all know what Seth wants.
It's how it works.
Yep.
Here, once you're in,
Yep.
that's why people keep working. Even if you're like, they don't have a lot of talent, they have an in.
They have an in because they can be trusted and they know what the person wants and gives it to them. That is critical, because you could find somebody that's got talent and then you bring them on and it just doesn't mesh. You don't have a similar vision. They're not teachable. Whatever the reason is, there's just no chemistry together.
Yeah.
Once you find a working relationship, you want to work together all the time.
So yeah, that was definitely one of the standouts of this film.
Yep.
Is the cinematography and directing.
It
prowess.
was the propeller for the story for me.
Yeah.
Because it did at times, the story dragged. It kind of got in the mud a few places.
Yeah.
And the cinematography kept it moving.
But also the score.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
score was wonderful.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
By these pairing right here.
Nihan Nair and Yaksen Gary Pereira.
Fafa was one of the producers of this film.
Yeah.
And the editor was Praveen.
He and the director.
Praveen something.
Praveen Prabhakar. Yeah. And the shout outs, lighting, as always. If you like the cinematography, it's also because lighting was critical. It's arguably the most important part of what's happening with your cinematography. If it's not lit right, forget it.
The music is highlights, as you pointed out. It's composed by husband and wife duo.
Beautiful.
She's sung a few songs in this as well.
Yeah, did a great job.
Indeed, this is the best. Sorry, I'm looking for the thing I was. Prophet Job, Prabhu, is called Prophet Iyobinte Pusthakam in Arabic. He went through great suffering.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
They took some of it from the Arabic. Yeah.
In Malayalam, he is called Iyobinte. It means the Book of Job. So it's actually that one as opposed to, I think, more the biblical one.
Right.
It's more of the, I guess.
Well, bottom line, he suffered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with the Book of Job from the 66 books of the Protestant and Catholic Bible, he loses pretty much everything. The story begins with the devil telling God, yeah, the only reason Job praises you is because his life is good. And he says, let me, attack his home. He still praises God. Let me attack his family. Let me attack his health. He loses everything. Loses his home, loses his kids, loses his marriage, loses his health. And basically anybody, a Job experience equals suffering. So,
I think everybody did a really good job. There wasn't really a weak link outside of some of the white actors in the beginning.
As usual.
And so
the elephant was better than the white actors.
So that's good.
Yeah. It was enjoyable. And if somebody said to me, hey, would you watch this with me? I'd watch it with them.
Yeah. I think it was a nice, enjoyable film.
Yeah.
I think it just, as directors grow, they kind of hone their craft in making a film. Making a film is so hard. Because, one, what you think is dragging and what somebody else thinks is dragging are completely different sometimes.
Yep.
And so you kind of have to be able to try to read as best you can as a director.
And it's, what else is
so story flowing,
so hard with pacing is that you're editing in fragments.
Yeah.
And you edit it and you're so absorbed in it that you can't see the forest for the trees. I wonder how often, not just for this film, but any director for any film, you have to step away from the editing process for a little bit and forget it and go back in to see it afresh, because you may feel like the film as a whole has a great pace because the pace in these little segments worked when you were editing, but then you put them all together and watch it as a whole and you go, crap, we got to go back into the editing room because it dragged. Yeah. I thought we were doing great, or the reverse.
Yeah.
It's been too rushed. We need to put some stuff back in.
Yeah. It's the most collaborative art form.
It's why post often takes so long. It's not just for CGI stuff, but when everybody wraps and the actors move on and the crew move on, the director and the editor and the composer and sound people are working for weeks, if not months afterwards.
Oh yeah, there's the shortest basically part of
is the filming.
Is the filming usually.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Almost always.
Because then you got color correction, you got sound, you got editing, you got score, you got, if there's dubbing, if there's reshoots, there's so many things post.
Yep.
You're being done film, unless it's like Lord of the Rings, but I'm sure post even took longer than even that took. Obviously.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, with Lord of the Rings, bless his heart, Peter Jackson was having to edit and prep Fellowship while he was still filming Two Towers and Return of the King, because he filmed all three at the same time. So think about that. With that, they had to not only do all that, they then, while Fellowship weren't they still filming when Fellowship released?
I think so.
So they had to do all of their press junkets, all of their premieres, and then get back to New Zealand to keep filming.
Yeah. Wild.
Because wasn't it almost a 10-year process? Mm-hmm. Man.
It's wild.
Crazy. Same with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Fahadh, obviously, his eyes are one of his best qualities about him, and to make him, because he has such expressive eyes.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot's going on behind.
As does his buddy in the thumbnail.
And yeah,
very expressive eyes.
And so, having somebody who isn't talking, I'm telling you, he didn't have more than a page of dialogue in the entire film. I wonder if he took it. He was like, I don't have to.
No, I'm sure it was. This is a Clint Eastwood military dude. He's a man of few words. Actions are what speak.
He's like, I'm doing a couple films. I don't want to memorize more.
Amal probably said, he probably got on as a producer, and Amal was like, I want you to star in this. He said, I have so much work that I got to do. I got this project. I have this project. But you can do, no, it's a 3-hour film. You have 6 lines. Oh, okay. Amen.
Amen. He pulls it off. He does such a good job. But yeah, I thought everybody else did a good job as well. Lal,
yeah,
of course. He's always Lal, but he's always so good. One of the most iconic voices in all of Indian cinema.
Yeah, everybody was just did a really good job.
I would have
no weak links.
more of the horny lady
Yeah.
throughout the film.
Yeah, she was only really predominant in the second half.
The second half, she got really horny.
Yeah.
And I get it because, like, I think they were hooking up behind his back, but I feel like you could have brought that in the first half as well.
Yeah.
As opposed to, it's like, oh, this feels almost like an entirely new character that we're getting to learn about just in the second half. And I liked it. I liked the French score behind her thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like she was like just happily horny all the time.
Yeah, her kink was murder. Very strange.
Maybe it's part of the prophet.
I don't know.
Like,
Could be, because there's aspects of it, obviously, I don't know about.
The
But
Arabic thing that they were talking about. I don't know. But I liked her character. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really want to play like a outlaw cowboy that has that
yeah.
beard. It's so ugly.
You know who you would be great as? I'm assuming you saw 310 to Yuma.
Long time ago.
Ben, I love him. Ben.
Kingsley?
No. Great. In fact, as I'm saying his name, I'm thinking to myself, where the hell is he? Because he's such a great actor, and he was so good in 310 to Yuma. Okay, I'm just going to put it into Yuma. Ben, not Tuma. And now that's another, if you like Westerns, 310 to Yuma is a really good Western. There it is. Russell's in it. Christian Bale. And Ben.
Kingsley.
No. Foster.
Ben Foster.
Yeah. So in 310 to Yuma, Ben Foster is Russell Crowe's devoted sidekick. And that role in 310 to Yuma, I bet you that's just like you would drool to play that character. Because he's a gunslinging bad guy supporting character to Russell Crowe who just is an ass to everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you might want to consider doing a scene from that. He has some great scenes.
I probably watched it maybe when I was 14.
Yeah, watch it again, and you won't help but want to play Ben's character.
I saw it in like an early teen years.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Should we watch?
Yeah, good movie. Good Western. If
anyways.
you're in the mood for a good Western.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
I did too.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the watch along as well. Let us know what you think about this movie. If you like it, if you didn't like it, what your thoughts on it are. What should be our next for Fafa? Anybody else in this movie for this director?
Just director.
Obviously, I know he has more coming up in terms of new stuff. I think he's got a Fafa thing coming up. Another Fafa thing coming up. Something called...
Yep, there it is.
This is
It's just there.
Bilal.
And then there's just another Amal Fafa project that's in pre-production.
Wait, who was he in Mongolo Boys? Oh, he's a special thanks in Mongolo Boys.
Right.
Oh. So this is a Trance is another Fafa film.
And he's the DOP.
It's supposed to be a crazy Fafa performance.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. But apparently he's the DOP on that one.
I'd watch anything he was the DOP on. I really like everything about what he wants to do. He's so extra. You know what's cool? He's extra without it feeling like he need. Sometimes you see extra with a cinematographer and you're like, okay, chill, dude. We get it.
Yeah.
You want the attention. Shut up. He does it to continue the narrative.
Yeah.
I never feel like he's trying to be show-offy.
Yeah.
Even though some of his shots, you're just like, okay, you're sick. But it's great. It always serves the narrative.
But anyways, let us know for him. And which will be our next Malayali film that we should watch. Please let us know down below.